Wednesday. Welcome to Disney on a Dime. We hope everyone's day is off to a magical start. Today, Eric and I wanted to stop in and share with you our favorite Disney hotels that are just perfect for your larger families.
So on this channel, we're going to talk about hotels a lot. We've stayed at all different types of hotels. We've stayed on Disney property. We stayed on Universal property. We stayed off property. We stayed at value hotels. We stayed at high-end hotels. So we're going to talk a lot about hotels on this channel. This video specifically, let's talk about, you got a larger family. You got 2 or 3 children. You need room to spread out.
Or, you know, we have some friends who have 4 and 5 kids. You know, or
you're like some people claustrophobic and you gotta have more space.
Room. There are only 3 of us, but I really like the larger hotel rooms. So today I think we're going to kind of focus on maybe 3 or 4 of the hotels that we think are perfect for you guys who have, you know, larger families, or if you like us, like to have just a little bit extra room. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the first one.
Okay guys, so whenever we're booking a hotel, we always go to TripAdvisor first, and you're going to hear us and see us use TripAdvisor quite a bit on our Disney channel. And one of the things we like to do is if we're going to a given city, so obviously we're going to be talking about Orlando, the first thing we'll look at on TripAdvisor are the hotels. Now, when you pull up hotels by city in TripAdvisor, it will give you a ranking of the hotels based on feedback from folks that have stayed there. So for example, the Villas of Grand Cypress here is the #1 rated hotel in Orlando based on traveler reviews. Now, this is a great place to start, but just keep in mind, people rate hotels differently. Some people are looking for value. If you're like my wife, you're looking for lux.
Want the lux. And just to speak to that really quickly, we haven't always kind of put an emphasis on the luxury stays when we visit Orlando. We've just kind of progressively gotten to a point where we are looking for more of a luxury vacation, if you will, when we visit Orlando. Not sure if we've mentioned it already, but currently our home away from home when we visit Orlando is the Waldorf Astoria in Orlando. Babe, can we pull up to see what number the Waldorf is?
Sure.
Let's see.
So the Waldorf, one of the reasons we like the Waldorf, and you know, this video is about hotels that are great for larger families. So the Waldorf is number 30, so it's actually dropped a little bit.
Right.
But I think that is not necessarily a reflection of the Waldorf. I just think, you know, not everybody wants that level.
It's like what you were saying earlier. People just look for different things when they are booking a hotel.
But the other thing to look for, and you'll see this at the Waldorf, they have a certificate of excellence. So definitely look for that when you're on TripAdvisor. And this is a great hotel for large families. The rooms are big. And they have suites. Now, not every room is a suite. We're going to show some hotels that are all suites. But if you look at the price of a Waldorf suite as compared to, say, a Disney standard room for the mid-price and luxury Disney hotels, the Waldorf price is comparable, if not cheaper. So this is a great option for large families. And it's basically on Disney property. It's really across the street from Disney Springs. So essentially, you're on Disney property.
Yeah, very, very close. And just really quickly, while we are on the Waldorf, I believe, was built. It had a soft opening back in 2009. And our family actually had the opportunity to be one of the first guests to stay at the Waldorf. And just to speak to the cleanliness of the hotel and also the customer service, I sent a letter in to the manager of the Waldorf, kind of informing them that I had a bit of a hotel phobia. And once we checked in, I believe it was the second morning of our stay, they actually took me around and let me meet the cleaning staff. And they really just really assured me that their attention to detail was one of their main, main points that they strive for at the Waldorf. So if you're having an issue with, you know, just wanting to really stay somewhere that's you can really put your trust in as it relates to the cleanliness, the Waldorf is a great place to start.
Okay. So now let's go to the other end of the spectrum. So this is a non-Disney hotel, kind of a luxe hotel, great for large families. Let's go to a Disney hotel that's another hotel that we've stayed at that's more of a value resort. So this is Disney's Art of Animation. They're number 7. Now, what's interesting, you got to be careful, too, because they break this out. This is actually considered to be in Kissimmee. So we're not looking technically at Orlando anymore. But we've also stayed at Art of Animation. They have suites. for larger families. So this is another good option. And they also have a certificate of excellence. Okay. So we've done a luxe resort. We've done a value resort that's on property. Let's go for something even more diverse. So let's talk about timeshares. We don't necessarily do timeshares, and I'm not going to get into a whole timeshare discussion. There's a lot of internet sites you can look at that talks about the plus and minuses of timeshares. But even if you don't do timeshares, what you can do is come to sites like eBay, and you will find that people are actually selling their timeshares.
Right.
And my wife actually discovered this years ago.
Yeah, several years ago. I think I happened upon Bonnet Creek while we were staying at, was it?
Animal Kingdom.
No, was it Animal Kingdom or Caribbean Beach?
It was one of them.
One of them.
This was one of our first times staying off Disney property.
Yeah, this was the first time we stayed off of property. And I just saw the huge towers going up. At the time, I believe they only had 2 towers. They have really grown since then. But really, didn't think too much of it. Got home after our stay and just kind of put in Bonnet Creek on eBay, not really thinking anything would come up. And like Erik said, I saw where the owners were selling different weeks
of their timeshares.
And you can get them at, guys, a really, really deep discount. Now the discounts are going to vary depending on the type of year that you go. Obviously, as you can see here, your summer months or during more of the peak season, the cost will go up. But if you take a look at the ones that Erik is circling or kind of pointing out right now, you get a 2-bedroom in May, a 2-bedroom from May 7th through the 12th. For $5.99.
Yeah.
There's no way you would be able to find a deal like that on any Disney property.
Yeah. And the thing about Bonnet Creek, the Wyndham Bonnet Creek, is they're almost all 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom suites. You get a full size kitchen. Yeah. Great choice for larger families.
No, I actually think, babe, they're all 2 bedrooms.
There was a 1-bedroom.
There's a 1-bedroom?
There's a 1
okay.
bed.
Oh,
well, they say it is. So these are all suites. So essentially, you're buying other people's timeshare weeks. People can't always use their timeshare, so you can go and buy their weeks that they're not using, and they're really, really great prices.
All right. Now, so yes, we're showing you guys quite a few hotels here that are off of Disney property, babe. But do you think we should mention talk a little bit to the transportation? A lot of people who come into town may not necessarily have a car. When you stay on Disney property, you do have your Disney transportation.
That's true. So we've showed the Waldorf and Bonnet Creek. So these are Disney partner hotels. They're on Disney property. So they have buses to the parks. But let's say, so this is actually a good segue. Let's say you're staying at the Residence Inn. So I'm going to talk about Residence Inn because these are Marriott hotels, and they're all suites. So now if you're staying at the Residence Inn in Lake Buena Vista, they're not going to have a shuttle. So great value for a larger family because it's all suites, but no shuttle. So something to think about. And once you start to go, off Disney property or a little bit off the beaten path, then I would encourage you to go to TripAdvisor. This one's ranked probably a little bit low for me. So I don't know that I would necessarily do one that's number 234.
Number 234 out of 335. Not sure if I want my family staying there. But again, as vacationers to Orlando, we are all looking for different things. And that ranking may have nothing to do with cleanliness, which is, a really big point for me. Maybe it's the distance. Maybe people ranked at number 234 because it is a little bit of a distance away from the theme parks.
Definitely so on TripAdvisor, they'll have photos. Don't look at the professional photos. Those are marketing photos. That's a waste of time. Look at the traveler photos, pictures that people have taken of the hotel to show you what it really looks like.
Yes.
So if you're looking at Residence Inn, for example, because they're all suites and great for large families, you can look at TripAdvisor and say, okay, this one's number 234, but I found another one that's just as close. And it's a little bit higher. It's number 163. So we're getting a little bit better. And this one has a certificate of excellence.
Right. But here again, you're not going to have the Disney transportation as you would with, of course, staying on Disney property, but also staying on those, what would we call them? Those kind of like the sister hotels, such as your Waldorf and your Bonnet Creek. And there are a few others too.
And the last thing I'll say is generally, I kind of think of hotels, they're kind of 2 large brands. They're your Marriotts and your Hilton, your Marriott family of hotels and your Hilton family of hotels. So, for example, the Waldorf is a Hilton hotel. So I'm a Hilton Honors member. I get Hilton points whenever I travel, and I use those for free trips. The Residence Inn is a Marriott hotel. So the Residence Inn is all suites, great for large families. But the Hilton also has their version of this. They have the Hampton Inn and Suites. So this is another great choice for large family because they do have a lot of suite offerings. And this one's ranked decently high. It's number 102. So again, I think this is a great choice. You want to book the suite when you book it if you have a large family, because they'll have kind of standard rooms, but they'll also have suites. And again, just make sure you look at the traveler photos.
Right. And guys, as we bring this video to a close, we will be coming back here shortly in a few days with other hotel options while you are staying in Orlando. We want to share with you guys.
This video is strictly large families. We're going to do videos about strictly luxury hotels,
the resort offerings,
hotels.
what each resort has to offer, what each hotel has to offer. I know that if you're traveling with a large family, whether or not a hotel offers that breakfast, I know we spoke about, the food being a kind of a hidden cost when you travel to the theme parks. That food cost can kind of drive up the cost of your vacation. So if you are at a hotel and let's say they offer, free continental breakfast, or they give you
great advice,
just a free breakfast with, let's say, 3 days of a stay, those things are also good to look at and think about also. But we'll be coming back, guys, and sharing with you just a host of other things you can look forward to when you are booking your hotel and travel in Orlando.
Well, that's it. We hope that you have found this video to be very informative. Thanks so much for stopping in, guys. Please remember to make every day magical, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.